So last week, we told you a story about how Chelsea Clinton made $600,000 a year from NBC. Now, it's amazing. She's been working there since 2011. She only did 9 reports for them in that amount of time. And in the last 18 months, she'd only done 2 reports, period. 18 months is $900,000 worth of salary, 2 reports. That's $450,000 for a couple of minutes of television. Now, I said on the program, that is not just because she's a celebrity and we just believe in royalty in this country. No. It's NBC basically doing a favor to the Clinton family, looking for political favors down the road. Now, some were cynical about that idea, saying, hey, wait a minute now, how do you know? That doesn't seem like it's quite fair. Well, the battle has been joined by Michael Hiltzik, and he couldn't agree more, apparently. In fact, what I love about his story in the LA Times is that he took it a step further by actually watching all 9 appearances by Chelsea Clinton. So that's my favorite part of the story. We're going to get to that in a second. First of all, his conclusion based on watching all of this and seeing the details of it, he says, no, it wasn't just for celebrity, and obviously it wasn't because of journalism. She had absolutely 0 experience in journalism. He says, quote, plainly, it was done to curry favor with the Clinton family. And then he explains, as I did on Friday's show, this was not NBC's first effort to kiss up to a powerful family or the last. In 2009, the network hired George W. Bush's daughter, Jenna, as a correspondent from the Today Show. Subsequently, Meghan McCain, daughter of Senator John McCain, and Abby Huntsman, daughter of one-time GOP presidential hopeful John Huntsman, had gigs as political commentators on MSNBC. Now, this is when he takes out the lead pipe and the blowtorch and goes to work on NBC and Chelsea Clinton for taking this job. He says, look, just as I did on Friday, I get why you're going to want to take a whole heap of money, but you can do something better with your life, as he says at the end. But first, let me explain his analysis here. He says, if journalism is defined as publishing information that the subjects of your reporting don't wish to be made public, then it's hard to find any journalism in Clinton's oeuvre whatsoever. I hate that word. Anyway, every piece we reviewed appeared to be painstakingly engineered to give no offense to anyone. Looked at all the journalism that Chelsea Clinton did at NBC News and found no such thing. It was just all incredible milquetoast to make sure her career is protected in case she wants to get into politics, to make sure NBC News is protected so they don't take any political heat from Democrats or, more importantly, in her case, Republicans. Everything is just manufactured perfectly so that it does not offend a single soul. By the way, there's no evidence that the ratings were any better under Chelsea Clinton. And by the way, the main program that she appeared on was canceled. So it's not like they did it for the ratings and, hey, that's television. Welcome to show business. No, they did it to curry favor. He said Clinton did a couple more uplifting pieces about people making a difference, and then suddenly, like water finding its own level, she was down to fawning celebrity profiles. Damn. Okay, that's much harsher than I went to, but he looked at all the pieces and he said, we start with like, oh, look at this wonderful person doing this wonderful thing. And the Republicans say, hey, you know what? So you don't need the government. You have all these wonderful people who can do it. And liberals are like, oh, look at this kind-hearted woman doing wonderful things for America. Everybody's so happy. Nobody actually watches, but everybody's so happy, especially NBC and its parent corporations and the government that they're in cahoots with, whether it's Democratic or Republican governments. And then here comes my favorite parts, although I actually kind of feel bad for Chelsea Clinton, the way that Michael Hiltzik ripped her up, or at least her reporting. Of course, he has no objection to her personally, and neither do I. He says, she told us how Stella McCartney, the fashion designer daughter of Paul McCartney, has taken tremendous risks for her principles, including making clear to Gucci from the beginning she would not work with leather. I love the sarcasm in that. Oh, tell us how brave Stella McCartney was. What did she do with Gucci? And then he explains, last April came the scraping of the bottom, an utterly canned interview with Geico's trademark gecko. The segment dressed up as a, quote, look at some of the most popular television advertisements. A hiring that started out as merely cynical had become its own parody. Oh man, Michael Hiltzik, I didn't know you had elbows like that, man. Boy, he was dropping them left and right on NBC News and Chelsea Clinton for taking this job. And he did his homework, he checked everything out, and he said there was not a scintilla of journalism in any of those reports This is as cynical as government and big business gets, man. It's media in New York working with the government in Washington, serving the interests of the powerful. And finally, he adds, if she really does want to make a contribution to bettering society, as was suggested by the fatuous PR surrounding her hiring, she should give up the NBC deal and turn her focus to honest work. Damn. So apparently I am not alone in thinking that that Chelsea Clinton deal smells something awful. And it does. And this is how the media works. And gee, I wonder why the media never challenges the corrupt politicians and say, wait a minute, you seem to be doing the bidding of your donors. Well, it's hard to challenge someone you're physically in bed with at the time.